What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your daily news report and economic update for Tuesday, May 31st. So here's what's going on right now. First off, oil prices are jumping. This is because of what the European Union just did last night. I want to address what's going on there. We're going to also talk about how President Biden plans on meeting today with the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to discuss inflation. So we'll address that. We're also going to talk about how the Senate there's a bipartisan group getting together today as well to talk about a gun violence bill. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's more as well. So I will get into all this in today's video. All I ask is if you spend 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button, as it does really help out the channel. So let's talk about what's going on. First, late last night, the European Union leaders agreed that they would ban 90%, big chunk, of all Russian crude by the end of the year. As a result, just this morning, what we are seeing is crude is up 3%, just under $120 a barrel. This is the highest it has been recently. It was actually at $120.70. This was back in, or maybe it was 123 back on March 7th. Okay, that's when all this happened. But that price increase was due to the recent invasion from Russia into Ukraine. What's going on now, is completely different. This is because countries are actually backing Ukraine and not wanting to be 100% reliant on Russia for their oil. So we'll see what happens there. We do know that experts are now saying that this is the 6th package of sanctions, and this will immediately impact about 75% of Russian oil imports. Now, obviously, this is going to see price increases around the world. So just to give you an idea, here in the United States, we are now seeing higher gas prices already. What we are seeing and what we are expecting is gas prices to go up even further. Today, gas prices per gallon nationwide is $4.62 per gallon. So obviously, it is going up. Now, I said this last week that experts were anticipating prices to spike right after Memorial Day weekend. Well, that was yesterday. We are now through Memorial Day weekend. So this coming week, we could see gas prices really go up. But this also was the expectation before the news from the European Union broke. So now that they are banning Russian oil imports, things could go up even faster, and the expectation is prices are definitely not going down. So just wanted to fill you in on what's going on there. Now, let's talk about inflation. This is one of the things that the White House says they have to tackle. What the White House has been doing lately is almost nothing. And there's not a lot that President Biden can even do. But what the White House plans to do about inflation is actually pretty simple. The plan is that President Biden is going to meet with the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to express his respect for the independence of the Fed. Now, according to Brian Deese, he says that this is something that no president has done before. Every president tries to, kind of wiggle their way in and influence the Fed's decision. Well, according to reports, President Biden's plan is to not influence the Fed one way or another. He just wants them to be able to do their job and handle rising inflation. I think this is interesting that this is what is being said, because if President Biden didn't want to influence the Federal Reserve, then you probably wouldn't have a meeting with the Federal Reserve Chairman. Just my thinking, but who knows? Now, according to multiple sources, here's what's going on. They say President Biden cannot hide from the talks of inflation any longer. They say voters are getting very uneasy about rising inflation, and so White House officials have said that it's time for Biden to step in and do something to help ease the voters' minds, even if it's something as simple as just having a meeting with the Federal Reserve Chairman. They say that would at least help, because then voters would think that, yes, he is informed as to what is going on, as opposed to right now where it's kind of up in the air, and President Biden doesn't really know whether inflation is going to go up, down, or just continue to run sideways. So we'll see what happens there. Now, whether this works or not, we don't know. Have no clue. Only time will tell. But what we do know is that U.S. consumer spending is not dropping. This has been the talks for months. Is okay, we're seeing that there's a war going on. There's a food shortage. There's a fuel shortage. There's oil. The oil crisis. That was all the discussions, and everybody said the American people would stop spending money. Guess what? We haven't. The American people are still spending money. It's just not our disposable income. What we are spending now is we're spending savings. We're cashing out of investments, which is a horrible thing to do when we're in the bottom of the market. But again, I don't know if we're for sure in the bottom, but feels like it. And then what consumers are doing is they're using credit cards to pay for their everyday purchases. Well, that actually turns into a major issue, because what happens if we continue to feel these problems? Prices continue to rise, potentially go into a recession. If we have all this debt, how do we pay it? That's the worry. So again, we'll see what happens there. But one thing that we do know is going to happen is today, a group of bipartisan senators will be working on a gun violence bill. This meeting is going to be conducted online, okay? Over probably Zoom or something like that, because most lawmakers are not in Washington at this moment. So because of that, they can't do it in person. But what is interesting about this potential gun violence bill is that what we are hearing from both sides, both Democrats and Republicans, is that the majority of these mass shootings are happening from younger people, younger individuals that are normally between 18 and 21 years of age. The reason for this, according to reports, simple. Rifles can be purchased at 18 years old, while handguns can't be purchased until you are 21. Well, according to multiple lawmakers, they are now open to the idea of raising the purchasing age from 18 to 21 for all weapons, not just handguns. As of right now, there's actually only 6 states that have raised the minimum purchasing age from 18 to 21, and these states include Florida, Washington, Vermont, California, Illinois, and Hawaii. There's still many more states that have not jumped on this, trend yet. So we will see if this happens or if this becomes a federal law. So, as we know more on that, I promise I'll fill you in on those updates as soon as we get them. Now here's the next thing. What we are hearing right now is that most lawmakers are frustrated. And it's not just the lawmakers that are frustrated, but it's the American people that are frustrated as well. And it's because Congress has once again missed a deadline. Lawmakers have been saying since, I believe, February, that their goal was to pass a climate bill and parts of Biden's economic agenda by Memorial Day. Memorial Day was yesterday. Nothing got done. So now the expectation is we can't go back, we can't change things, but we can move forward. So the next deadline is just 34 days away. That is the 4th of July. That's the expectation. Now keep in mind, the 4th of July is the deadline, okay? But the 4th of July is also on a Monday. Yes, it's on a Monday. So chances are the next deadline would be Friday, July 1st. That's the expectation. But keep in mind, things take so long to get done. Things go so slowly. We know even the Senate isn't going to be back in session until June 6th. The House of Representatives didn't come back for a full week on June 7th. So that really only leaves like 1, 2, 3, 3.5 weeks to get a bill done. That, according to many, is almost impossible. So we'll see what happens here. But as I said, as we know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates again. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.